Remember that movie from the early 90s that you see nonstop on cable TV, Armageddon? You remember that one, right? Well, the only difference between that movie and what happened here yesterday collectively to the handicappers is that Bruce Willis was nowhere to be found to save the day, and the asteroid actually did hit the Earth because it was a total implosion yesterday. One handicapper had a winning day yesterday, Anthony Red. Oh, Shawn Michaels pushed, and that's it. I got nothing else for you guys. And listen, if you expected to come to this website today and see me laughing and smiling and having a good time and telling you all about rosy things in life, you are sorely mistaken. Because I believe in total transparency, and you should get that by now. And I think a lot of you do, and that's why thousands and thousands of you watch this video every single day, and that's why I think this site is bigger than the next 10 sites in this entire business combined. Because not only do I talk about the winners, but more often than not, I talk about the losers, guys. Because listen, you have to have 100% total faith and confidence that when you come to this site, what I am saying and what the handicappers are saying is 100% legit. So that's why I believe in total transparency. I mean, and it's been that way since day number one in this business when I created these sites over 11 years ago. I mean, if I didn't believe in that, what the hell would I be doing? Going to New York, hiring 50 guys with thick Bronx accents, opening up a phone room and trying to beat up people for their phone numbers and their credit cards and robbing them for every penny they were worth? Oh, you mean people already do that and they're still in business? Damn, what an interesting concept. But anyway, yes, Anthony Red yesterday was the lone guy that won. And like I said, Shawn Michaels pushed, and that's the highlights yesterday. And I'll talk more about A-Red in a moment because he has a monster play coming up here tonight. And I'll give you a breakdown of tonight's Colts-Eagles game, which I think is one of the hardest games to handicap of the season so far. And I've got a free baseball selection for you as well. But let's talk about what happens when underdogs cash in frequently. Well, there are two things that happen. And as I've always said, neither one of them are any good. Number one, generally, you and I, gamblers, we're losing our shirts because basic human instinct is we all always are inclined to back the favorites, okay? And it's hard. It is hard. I'm telling you this is a fact as a gambler, as a handicapper. It's hard sometimes to talk yourself onto a dog, an alpha favorite. You know, you battle yourselves often with that dilemma. And the other thing is sports books and bookmakers are unfortunately making a wheelbarrow full of money. They are just backing the Brinks trucks up to their doors. And I find it interesting that in week number one, this season started on a Thursday night. Seattle got the home cover against Green Bay. And then overall, the underdogs won 11-5 against the spread. This week, Thursday, what happened? Baltimore got the cover at home. And then the underdogs had their way again. Now, true, for the week going into this Monday night game, the dogs and the favorites are tied at 7-7-1. I'm sorry, though. When underdogs start the season going 18-12-1, that is not good news. And the amazing thing is, of the 7 dogs that covered yesterday, you realize 6 of them won outright. And of the 11 dogs that covered in week number 1, 7 of them won outright. And I just want to throw this out there because I've always mentioned it in the past, and I think it's just an interesting thing. If you are that in love with an underdog, is it not worth sometimes making a much smaller play? Not your major play, but a much smaller play if you have the bankroll on that underdog, perhaps winning outright on the money line? Just a thought. Just wanted to throw it out there. But hey, let's talk about Anthony Red. I mean, God, this guy is so hot right now. 8 straight winning days, 8 straight football winners. Yesterday, you got his 60-dime opening total of the year winner with Tampa Bay and St. Louis staying under. I gave it to you for $14, which was a savings of $85 off the regular price. Well, today, he has a play which matches his biggest NFL release in 2 years. He's not had a 100-dimer. Not like that 100-dime winner he had in Louisiana Tech in college football on Thursday night, a 3-point road dog that went outright by 21 points at North Texas. No, his biggest play in the NFL the past couple of years has been an 80-dime release. He had his 80-dime preseason game of the year a few weeks back when Cincinnati went to Arizona and went outright as a 2-point dog. He is going today for 80-dime NFL winner number 4 in a row. And again, this matches his biggest play the past couple of years in the pros as he goes for winning day number 9 in a row with football winner number 9 in a row. And you get it for more than half off today. Save $75. And keep in mind, this is bigger than a 75-dime winner you got at a discounted price last Monday on the Chargers. In fact, You know, during this 8-day winning streak, 7 of those days you've got in this place at discounts, huge discounts, and you're going to get today's as well. Save $75 simply by using coupon code REDD, R-E-D-D. Can't make it any easier than that, guys, R-E-D-D. Now, the 777 triple play, Brad Wilton, who has made $10 bettors a little over $8,600, dating back the past 14 months. The biggest totals release he's ever had goes tonight. It's a 75 dime play. He feels the best bet tonight is not the side, it's the total. And you get it for $7.77 by using coupon code 777, T-R-I-P-L-E, and the number 7. As for me, I'm going to break down this game for you in just a moment. Now, listen, guys, I'm in a slump. I'm going to be honest with you. I am in a slump. After winning 18 out of 23 days, I've now lost 2 straight days. So any second now, I expect the asteroids to start hitting here in my home. You know, it happens. I lost the big play on Texas A&M on Saturday. I lost a 15-dime play on the Broncos yesterday. And by the way, has anybody noticed Peyton Manning and the Broncos? You got some issues after halftime because you opened up the big lead against the Colts and you got backdoored because you had 7 points in the second half. Yesterday, you opened up an 11-point lead against Kansas City. You scored 3 points in the second half. Damn, screwed me in that game. Anyway, I think the best bet is actually in baseball here tonight, guys. It's not in football, and that's why I'm going to break down the game for you. I'm going for winning day number 19 out of 26. I have a baseball team that's playing at home that I think is going to dominate tonight and win by at least 4 or 5 runs. It's a 10-dime release, of which I've won 11 out of 13 over the past 3 weeks, and 9 of those 11 winners you've gotten at huge discounted prices. And today, you can get it, save $60, and get it for just $19 by using coupon code AL19, AL19. Oh, little heads up for you. Anthony Redd and Craig Davis are on the same side of tonight's game. Now, listen, did Craig Davis yesterday lose his 100-dime dog of the year, part number 2, with the Jaguars getting drilled after hitting with the Dolphins in week number 1 against the Patriots? Yes, he did. But keep in mind, tonight he's going for 50-dime winner number 8 out of 9, winning day number 11 out of 13, and he had been off to a 4-0 NFL start before losing that game yesterday. But him and A-Red are on the same side of tonight's game. And again, the only other positive I can take from yesterday is the fact that Shawn Michaels, some of you actually did win. He was the half-price play of the day. He told you to buy down the half point on Green Bay. So many of you got that game at 7 and brought it down to 6.5. Others of you brought it from 7.5 to 7. You walked away with the push. He counted it as a push as I did for record-keeping purposes at the site. But just goes to show you again, and listen, I'm not going to preach to the choir because you either believe it by now or not if you watch these video reports. But you buy the half point up or down accordingly when the line crosses 3, 4, 7, and sometimes 10. It's the single biggest influence factor in my career when it's come to turning losses into pushes and pushes into wins, more than anything else. And when you can pay a couple of cents on the dollar to do so, they edge the odds in your favor. Why the hell wouldn't you? Okay, let's talk about this game here tonight. The Eagles and Indianapolis. The Colts a solid 3-point favorite in this one. A damn tough game because, listen, I should know. I had Philadelphia last Sunday as a huge 30-dime play, which matched the biggest play of my entire career in the NFL, right? Play I'm 9-3 lifetime with. And you know the deal. They were turnover prone in the first half. Nick Foles, 2 interceptions all of last year, threw a couple of picks, fumbled the ball. I mean, he was awful in the first half. They found themselves trailing at home to Jacksonville 17-0. Then they reeled off 37 unanswered points to get the win and get the cover thanks to Fletcher Cox, a 310-pound defensive end, rumbling in to the end zone with a fumble recovery from 17 yards out. I thought he was going to have a heart attack before he reached the goal line because I was certainly having a heart attack begging him to reach the goal line. And they got the cover on that touchdown fumble return. Problem is, that game was a costly one for them because one of the keys to Philadelphia's success last year, in year number 1 of Chip Kelly's up-tempo, high-octane offense, was that the offensive line played magnificently, gave Foles excellent protection, opened up the running lanes for Shady McCoy week in, week out, and they played together as a unit all season long. They took a blow prior to the season start when Lane Johnson, one of their starting tackles, was suspended for PED use for the first 4 games. Then they lost one of their all-pro guards, Evan Mathis, in last week's game. Then they lost Alan Barbary, a veteran who had been starting in place of Lane Johnson, to an injury as well. So now you've got a totally revamped offensive line. But the Colts have their own injury concerns as well. Their top inside linebacker, Freeman, is probably going to miss tonight's game. You know their number one pass rusher, Mathis, 17.5 sacks, or 19 sacks last year, out for the season. He was suspended the first 4 games, just tore a Achilles tendon, I think it was last week. So he's out for the season no matter what. You saw the Colts in week number 1 go to Denver and just get shredded defensively in the first half by Peyton Manning, who then second half Colts made their big comeback. Was it because Denver was playing so much prevent defense? Is it because the Colts were playing so well? The one thing we know about the Colts offensively is it's Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck. Because they can't run the damn ball. Their offensive line has been reshaped, revamped, whatever, but it certainly doesn't produce enough holes for Trent Richardson and whoever else they have in the backfield, okay? So it's Luck passing to a talented array of receivers. Now, the Eagles are in your number 2 playing the 3-4 defense. And Bill Davis's defensive unit, that's the coordinator of the Eagles, Bill Davis, they played much better and much more cohesively and got much more pressure on the quarterback the second half of last season. That's going to be key tonight. Can their cornerbacks, which are in and out, and can their safeties, which have really been awful the last couple of years, get the job done against Reggie Wayne and the rest of the guys? At the same time, however, the Eagles, I think, have a huge edge here tonight because they have one of the best tight end duos in the business with Brent Selleck, who's a decent pass catcher and a very good blocker. And then, I forgot his damn name. Oh, the second-year guy out of Stanford. I want to say Ertz, but I can't remember. Anyway, I can't remember because you saw what Thomas, the Broncos tight end, did to Indianapolis's defense last week. So I actually think the Eagles have a shot at winning this game. But if you put a gun to my head and made me play the game, I think the way to go is the over. And yet it should tell you something that I think the best bet is still in baseball tonight. So my official free pick is going to be taking the over in this contest because both of these teams have their defensive warts, and both of these teams are go, go, go when it comes to offense. And I think that Indianapolis will be hard-pressed to stop Philadelphia tonight, but at the same turn, I think the Colts are in desperation, 0-2 start, and I think Luck is going to come out firing. So, again, I think the over is the way to go. Now, in baseball, I'm going to go with Baltimore, minus $1.30 or so at home against Toronto. What more can we say about the Orioles? I mean, they took 3 out of 4 at home this week against the Yankees, rallying for the Sunday night win. Despite scoring just 12 runs total in the series, they still won 3-1. They have won 27 out of 35 at Camden Yards since the end of June. They've won 16 of their last 21 games overall. Chen is going tonight for the Orioles. He is 8-1 with a 2.85 earned run average in his last dozen starts. Ironically, the lone loss in that stretch came August 6th at Toronto when they allowed 4 runs in 5 innings. And he's never pitched really that well against the Blue Jays, an 8.10 earned run average and 0-2 record in 2 starts. But I like him here tonight, even though I used Marcus Stroman as a free pick when he last pitched for the Blue Jays, and it was a shutout at home, and he's won his last 3 starts. But here's the bottom line. At home this year, he has a 2.76 earned run average. On the road this year, he's a 5.73 earned run average. That's almost 3 more runs per game. Even though he's pitching on 2 extra days rest here, I'm going to go against the Blue Jays, who lost 2 out of 3 at home this weekend against Tampa. And for a team in a wild card race with a couple weeks left in the regular season, that was devastating, considering they entered that series with so much momentum, having won 9 of their previous 11 games. So I'm going to go with the Orioles at home, the Eagles and the Colts to go over the posted price, and that'll do it. And I'll catch you again tomorrow.